Now it's autumn in this static caravan, we've definitely noticed a drop in temperature. This caravan hasn't got central heating. We have got a gas fire. We've got an electric blanket. We've bought thermal curtains and slippers. But that's not going to be enough, which is why I decided to buy these. These are electric panel heaters, and we're buying quite a few for this caravan. We've got 3 so far, but we're getting a couple more. We're going to put one in every single room in this caravan, and I know a lot of people are going to say that's going to cost a fortune to run, but it's not going to cost a fortune the way we're going to do it. We have got a gas fire, which is his main source of warmth, but there's nothing worse than walking into a room first thing in the morning and it's very cold. And that's the idea of these heaters. We're going to use these to go on and off at certain times. They're not going to be consistently on warming this caravan up, because that would cost a lot of money. But what we need is one in the bathroom, because there's nothing worse than coming out of the shower or going into the shower and the bathroom is icy cold. We are expecting it to be like that, so we're making it best of a bad job, if you like. We don't want to pay £2 to put central heating in. So for this year, we're going to try and manage with these, and we will definitely be keeping an eye on that electric as well, because we've got a meter just outside. If I take one of these out, I have already unpacked them, just checked that they weren't damaged. This is basically the heater that we've got. It's not too wide, although after checking the width of this to put one in the toilet, it is a little bit too much. So I'm going to try and find a slimline version of something like this. But one thing about these heaters is that they've got timers on them and they've got built-in thermostats. So we want to set these timers to come on an hour or so before we come into the room in the morning. Or when we're going to go in the shower, we can just turn one on 20 or 30 minutes before we do that, ensuring that room is nice and warm. And there's probably people that are going to say you're not supposed to put panel heaters in a bathroom, but these you can, which is another reason that I bought them. So the small ones of those were $59.99, and that includes delivery. And that's from a place called Futura Direct. And so far we've bought 2 of those small ones, but we also got this one for the living room, which is quite a bit bigger. That is a 2 kilowatt heater, and that one was £85. And the smaller ones, they're 1 kilowatt. But the good thing about these heaters is they're switchable between those settings. So you can have this one running at a lot lower wattage. But the best thing is the timers. These are also wall mountable, which is what I'm going to be doing. But they also come with their own feet. So you can just stand them on the floor if that's what you want to do. But we're going to fix them to the walls of all these rooms. It also might be worth mentioning that when you get panel heaters, you're not supposed to run them off extensions. I have asked a lot of people about that, and we have had comments on channel as well. So they need to be plugged directly into a socket. I'll plug one in and I'll show you its settings on top. So hopefully you can see this when I turn it on. You've got that display. As soon as you turn it on, there's a little switch at the side there, and then this readout tells you your temperature, and you can go up and down. That's just clicked, which means that has now come on. You can feel it getting warm. But we've also got daytime settings and nighttime settings as well. And then if you use this setting button, you can select 7 days a week for this heater to go on and off as you want it to. So it's got a really good feature with that timer set up, and that's a 24-hour timer as well. So if you wanted to, you can just set all those heaters to come on if it drops down to a certain temperature. And I would think that's a good idea in a caravan, because it might just stop your pipes freezing up under your sink or in your bathroom. So that is really good to have. But also, it's got what they call an eco open wind detection. So basically what that does is if you've got an heater running and it drops 5 degrees or more all of a sudden, it will automatically turn that heater off to save money. So if it's on a low setting and you forgot about it and then went out and opened the door, at least you know it's going to turn itself off once that cold comes in to save you from running your bill up. So definitely a bit better than the panel heaters that I used to have in the past. And that was definitely the thing that sold me on these heaters. I don't think they were a bad price, but the fact that I can set them to go on and off whenever I want means we don't have to have them constantly running. All we want to do with these is take the edge off, to warm this place an hour before we get up, to keep that bathroom nice and warm when we're having a shower. And I think that is going to make a lot of difference. They also come in other sizes as well. These small ones are 1000 watt. You can get 600 watts, you can get 1500 watts. So you've got a good variation there to choose from. So we're getting the smaller ones for the little rooms and the bedrooms, and then just the one big one for this entire living area, because it's also an open plan kitchen as well. So I think a combination of the price, the fact that we can hang them on the walls and they don't really look out of place, and they've got timers and thermostats, is good enough for me. And as I said, we need to get something a bit thinner. So maybe we'll just get a small pipe heater fit in that place. But I'll give you a quick look at where we're actually going to be putting these heaters. Straight away, right there on that wall below that window, that's where that big one's going to go. I'm probably going to put one in this hallway as well. Once again, that'll be a small one. And since this spare bedroom has already got a socket just where we need it, I'll be putting another one there. But we're also going to put them low enough so they're not too close to those nets. Or maybe I'll replace those nets with some roller blinds. We're going to have another one on that wall there in his main bedroom. And there's a socket just beside it. And then we're going to put one just here in shower room. That wall is big enough to take one of those smaller ones, and it's not going to interfere with that shower door either. And we can drill through that wall, feed the wire through to a socket in the other bedroom. And then last, we've got this toilet, but as you can see, there's not a deal of room down the sides of this, so that's why I'm going to go for maybe a pipe heater at the bottom just above that skirting board, or a really thin slimline one. So as you can see, that is quite a few heaters, 6 in total, so we're going to order another 3. The only reason we didn't order all 6 at once is because we wanted to try them out first, which we have been doing since last night. And they do get warm really quick. And as soon as the room reaches the temperature that you want, by the settings you've put into it, then the heater goes off. So it's not using any more electric. So I think it's a really good option. And I know a lot of people did say the oil-filled radiators were great as well. And they are on wheels and you can move them around. But we want to keep this place as tidy looking as possible, so I didn't want the ones on wheels. They're very bulky things as well. So over the next couple of days, these are going to get all fitted to the walls, and then we'll tidy the wires up so they can't be seen. Something else that came with these heaters, which I think is really useful, is these. They're basically templates, and you put them on your wall. You can put a spirit level on top of that paper to make sure that this is perfectly level, and then it shows you the holes, and that's where you need to just push a screwdriver through or something and make a hole in the wall, and the same the other side, so that when you put your raw plugs in and your screws, they'll perfectly line up with those brackets, which I thought is quite a good idea. And you get one with every heater because obviously the different sizes. That makes that job a little bit easier. And also another thing is, these are basically cavity walls, so you can't just put a regular raw plug in there, it won't work. So we've nipped out and we've bought some cavity plugs. And along with that template, that's all we're going to need to get these fitted as quickly and easily as possible. And see how we get on with static Caravan using electric panel heaters. And we don't need to use them at the moment because even for autumn coming up towards the beginning of October, it is quite mild. I'll get them all set up where they all need to go, and then we'll set the timers for whatever basically suits us. And of course I will be doing an update, and we're going to take a reading off of that electric meter before we even start using them, and then we can monitor the amount of energy that they're using in comparison to what it's been using before we got them, and hopefully it's not going to be too much. So thank you so much for all your comments, I really appreciate it. We're going to see what happens with these, and hopefully they're going to work out for us, but if not, we can always rethink it. If you're interested in seeing other videos on caravan life in UK, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you next time. You all take care.